Shalom. Kal halalimla Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, elder bishops of Great Millstone, and shalom to the prophets of that body, and shalom to the 144,000 and 1/3, the elect men, women, and children. Shalom. Shalom Babakar. You know, sometimes I think about, the things that you go through on a daily basis. Sometimes the fleshly worries and things of that nature. And sometimes even, you know, you get caught up in the worries of this world. And then you also think about the past as well, and how many incarnations it took for us to get to this level where this is the last time we're going to ever be ruled over by heathens. And that blessing of knowing this truth, others do not have. The 2/3, Lord willing, I'm part of the 1/3, or however that, Lord willing, you're part of that bigger, that number to be saved, the election for salvation. And you just realize the fact that you don't have to ever go through these fucking problems no more. Once this thing is done, you don't have no more worries, no more looking for work, because work will be completely diminished on this side. The financial system will crash. Won't have to have no heathens ruling over us ever again. Won't to have no unruly children, crazy women in your life, women that step out. All these things, every single worry that we have, is nothing. And another thing I think about as well, meditate upon, is like the small things that Yahweh Shemeshai is getting us through on a daily basis. Right? I always say that we got bigger fish to fry. you know, you might get like, sometimes a demon might jump on you, as a man, as you get up in age, as young and powerful as you used to be when you're a younger man, and you think to yourself, when you're watching a UFC or a boxing fight, you think, man, these motherfuckers are big, You see these big ass Russians and that, these big ass fighters, foreign fighters, and you think about the foreign troops, martial law, and things of that nature, and you think to yourself, why would you get somewhat intimidated? Demons jump on you as you get up in age. You're not the same man as you used to be when you were in your 20s, right? As you get up in age and demon jumps on you to put fear in you, think, oh, look at how powerful these people are, and then you think to yourself, what the hell are you worried about for? These boxers, these UFC fighters, all these so-called tough guys in the world, right? They're nothing to worry about, because we got bigger fish to fry. We're gonna have, we're gonna have supernatural elements. We're gonna have Yahweh Hashem Yashai with us, covering us, and you're worried about certain people that you might see in life or whatever, and you think to yourself, why am I worried about that for? We got bigger fish to fry. We got to go against, martial law troops, super soldiers, people that are souped up or whatever. They got them, out of this world type weaponry, you know, and other things that we got to go against, gangs, marauders, That's going to be way, way, way worse than 70 AD. And you think to yourself, why am I worried when we got to deal with bigger things? And when that time actually comes, All these people that are living their life and assuming things are going well, or they don't understand why things are not going well. They don't understand which way the world is going. They think the world is going to be like this forever. They they're going to get caught up. They're going to be hit like they're just going to be hit like a tsunami because they're not expecting what's coming. Because Esau, the so-called white man, is causing all the problems and saying to them, "Oh, we're going to make everything okay. There's going to be peace and safety." But you know what the scriptures say, paraphrasing the scripture, when they say peace and safety, sudden destruction shall come upon them like a woman in travail, and they shall not escape. Okay, man, when that time comes, and you know how you were before you were in the truth, and you know how you are now, right? And the Lord Yahweh Shem Yashai is going to give us the mentality, the power, the strength, the health to deal with these elements, because we're going to have help from outside of this world, man, from the fourth dimension. Yahweh Shem Yashai is going to shine His light upon each elect individual male that's allotted to get power on this side, to be protected and to protect other Israelites and to delete the enemy. The Lord is going to shine that light and give you that power, man, that supernatural power, that supernatural strength. We all have dreams, visions, we see spiritual numbers. That's an element of the Lord letting you know, don't have fear. I'm giving you these signs along the way. Keep the faith. Hebrews 11 verse 1, faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. Hebrews 11 verse 6, without faith it is impossible to please the Lord Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. What did the Lord say? If you have faith as a grain of a mustard seed, you can move one mountain from one place to another. Okay, so belief is key. All right, that's why the kingdom is within you. Quoting Apostle Rakah in the spirit and power of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. Because for the most part, we feel exhilarated. Even though we're going through hell, that exhilaration is there right in the background or in the forefront, letting us know this is it. Because every time I'm going through some fucked up shit, I always say to myself, you know what? This is not forever. This is not forever. Each day we get through, quoting Prophet Manatazak Benyamin, we are one day closer to the kingdom. And we can feel it in the spirit. We've already won the battle. We just have to go through the motions. Okay? So this is it. So why should you worry? The Lord is building you up. And when those things, your back is really pushed against the wall, Isaiah 59:19, when the enemy shall come in like a flood, right? So we're not worried. Let's go to Isaiah 59:19. Then I'm going to go to some other scriptures. Isaiah 59:19, King James Version. So shall they fear the name of the Lord from the west. So shall they fear the name of the Lord, Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai, from the west, and His glory from the rising of the sun. When the enemy shall come in like a flood, the spirit of the Lord, Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai, shall lift up a standard against him. That standard is a means to escape. Whether you fly away, whether you fight, fight or flight, the Lord will give you the ability to escape. All right? Let's go to John 15 and 16. Let's go to John 15 and 14. Ye are my friends if ye do whatsoever I command you. Okay? Henceforth I call you not servants, for the servant knoweth not what his Lord doeth, but I call you friends. Yahushua calls the elect members friends, but I called you friends, for all things that I have heard of my Father, I have made known unto you. All right. Verse 16. You have not chosen me, but I have chosen you and ordained you. So you can't choose Jebus. You can't choose the Lord. Okay, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai chooses you. Ye have not chosen me, but I have chosen you and ordained you, that ye should go and bring forth fruit, and that your fruit should remain, that whatsoever ye shall ask of the Father in my name, He may give it you. Okay? So you can't get yourself into this as a quoting Apostle Gabar, this thing of ours. All right, you've got to be chosen from the foundation of the earth. You can't make yourself believe. Quoting Elder Kazaki Allah, you know, faith is a gift. Believing is a gift. This truth is a gift. You know, you might think less of yourself by looking in the mirror because of how much of a scumbag you were when you were younger, and the things and the atrocities you committed. But the Lord got you out of that, did He not? So the Lord will get you out of further things, man. All right? Don't get intimidated, Jake. All right? These worldly things, these things that are in this world, certain things might throw you off for a little bit. A demon might jump on you just to scare you, but we know that's a demon. So you pray that demon away. All right? But we got bigger fish to fry. These things that you might get blown away for, might get overwhelmed by here and there, those are nothing compared to what we got to face. So the Lord is getting you through these small things daily, daily, daily. All these worries, spiritual thoughts, mental thoughts, financial thoughts, physical thoughts, all these things that you go through, spiritual, physical, mental, financial. The Lord Yahweh Shemashai is getting you through these things daily to build you up for the greater trial. We've already won. We just got to play it out. All right? Just got to play it out. Okay. Okay, read that one. John 15 and 19. If ye were of the world would love his own. But because ye are not of the world, but I have chosen you out of the world, therefore the world hateth you. And that's a very beautiful scripture. You know, that's a blessing not to be part of this world. That means you're like a clone like everybody else, man. The Lord chose you out of the world. That's a barakian. Henceforth, the elect have a different mindset, a different feeling. They have that happiness vibe inside them, even though you go through hell, or you have that happiness vibe, the kingdom always on your mind, the kingdom always in you. You know, that nostalgic feeling of, yeah, it's coming. You know, I don't know whether you brothers understand that. The nostalgic vibe, you feel that something good is coming. You know, Jeremiah 1 and 5. Before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee, and before thou camest forth out of the womb, I sanctified thee, and I ordained thee a prophet unto the nations. You know, some of our elders and prophets are prophets. You know, we learn from there, our teachers. You know, even though, the body has many members, everybody doesn't have the same office, paraphrasing. You know, so we do what we can with the knowledge that we have, with the spirit of the Lord Yahweh Shai has put upon us. And I always say in each video as well, Lord willing, I remember today as well, or this morning, that, whoever's listening or watching, or not that many people watch me, but if you try and subscribe to the apostles on down, the men of Great Millstone, if you're sincere about learning, okay? Because those elders and prophets will wake you up, man, in the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yashai. That's the truth. Nothing but the whole truth there. Before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee, and before thou camest forth out of the womb, I sanctified thee, and I ordained thee a prophet unto the nations. All right. Romans 11 and 4. But what saith the answer of the Most High unto him? I have reserved to myself 7,000 men who have not bowed the knee to the image of Baal. Okay, 7 is completion. And the Lord has reserved 7,000 men, 7,000 Jake men across the four corners of the earth that did not bow down to the image of Baal, man. You know? They didn't bow down to the image on the left-hand side, on that left-hand side vibration. They didn't bow down. You know, they refused to bow down. They refused to eat that pork. They refused to eat that abomination. You know? Those are the same men who probably in the ancient world were probably hung and lynched and deleted for not eating pork and not giving up their faith. You know? Those same men are back, man. Should I read Matthew 24? Oh, yeah, why not? And the elect are not going to be deceived. You know, other wacky-tacky Christians and other types of individuals assume that the elect can be deceived, that they can throw off the prophecies. You can deceive other Israelites that are not of the elect, okay? Because pursuant to Zechariah 13 and 8 and 13 and 9, two parts are going to be deleted and one part's going to make it through. And that one part is the elect, right? And you can't deceive them. The elect are not, they were not born, they were not created by Yahweh Shemashai to be deceived. They're going to make it through. All right, you can do whatever you want, Esau, to try and throw off the prophecies. It's not going to happen. Even you trying to throw off the prophecies is ordained by Yahweh Shemashai. He's put it in your mind, okay, to do this, that, and the third, but it's not going to come to fruition. Like your New World Order, you think you're going to get it up off the ground. You might think that for a small second, right, for a short second, and Yahweh Shemashai is going to, like paraphrasing scripture, you're going to try to build, but the Lord's going to throw down. All right. Because the Lord has set bounds that you can't pass. All right, you can't stretch the finishing line. You are finished, Esau. Your world is finished. Matthew 24 and 24. For there shall Salakia, for there shall arise false Hamashiachs and false prophets, and shall shew great signs and wonders, in so much that, if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect. And the elect weren't born, designed, created to be deceived. Okay? And a lot of the elect, actually the elect did not take the juice, the C19 juice. And they're not going to take the charagma, and they're going to get through every stage of atrocity that they come across. Some will be beheaded, but they won't feel it because they'll have faith, and the angels will be right there. Okay, but then they'll come back down as that bride adorned for her husband, with a spiritual power once that changes there, along with the rest of the elect. Some of them won't be beheaded. All right? Because that's what's coming, man. Some of us will have to go through that. But remember one thing. This is the last go around. We don't have to go through another incarnation again under a heathen power. We won't have to go through curses again under a heathen power. We have nothing but loveliness and happiness and being with Yahweh Hashem Ashai forever and ever and ever and ever and ever, forever. Right? Being in bliss with the Lord, man, when he returns. For the elect, that is. And the 2/3 that will be deleted on this side, as gruesome as that's going to be, but they'll be born in the kingdom as babies, and they won't have to go through the hell again either. So all of Israel will be, as they say, eventually saved. But the elect, this is the glory for Yahweh Shai, Yahweh Bashem Shai, and underneath His Majesty Yahweh Shai, right? Because the Lord has to get His glory first. The 144,000 are going to get their glory as well. Under the spirit and power of Yahweh, under the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai. So this is the last go around. So we've got a lot to look forward to. All right. So don't worry about the cares of this world, man. You do what you're going to do, your due diligence, and the Lord Yahweh Hashem Shai will do everything else. All right. Anyway, all praise to Yahweh Hashem Shai. Shalom.